Um, as far as like you were saying for like deepfake technology and whatnot, yeah, deepfake technology, they've been developing it for a while. A lot of like these technologies were created to they just wanted to see the capabilities and kind of just test around, see what the use cases are. So sometimes like it's kind of like when you're making art, it's just like you don't know what this exact project is for, but like it could be useful for something.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like their approach to that, and I feel like that's approach to the AI. It's like some parts are intentional, some parts are just like let's just see what this thing can do, so we can figure out its use cases later.
Mm.
Yeah. In a lot of cases, they've implementing that into art. I think is another interesting thing.
Yeah, we could
too,
speak about
because,
that now. What are your opinions on AI art?
I
No, go ahead, Lucas.
oh, are you sure?
Yeah. My
Okay.
my thought will stay.
My only thing, my quick interjection would just be that, I mean, first, I think it's cheesy. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it.
Oh,
Cheesy in what way?
Cheesy in terms of like, dude, art is about the human expression, and it has to be totally from you, from
you
your
know,
heart, from your soul. Like, I'm talking caveman drawings. Like, yo, this came from the absolute origin of our history. So to like piece, hobnob together some sort of like AI, or oh my god, I sound so old, but just like
no, but this is a real
Yeah,
real
I mean,
concern. This
and
is like a
it's
real
just like
We didn't
feeling.
make
it's
art
like,
like that back in my day.
yeah, it's like,
My
I don't know,
granddaddy
it's like
made that cave painting right there.
it's like it's like I mean, an immediate metaphor would be like, it's like paying for an expensive meal that tastes like nothing. It's just like,
Mm.
I don't really like where's the heart and soul in it. And like, I mean, I don't know, it's just like, I feel like art in terms of like the creation of something from a feeling, like that's just like, it's something really sacred. And I feel that if you just, again, slap something together that has no emotion or narrative or meaning for doing or creating something, then it's like, what's the point? It's just like, I don't know. I just kind of find it
That's a
pointless.
very
But like, also
artist take.
I would say the saving grace of it would be that, again, from my limited knowledge, I understand that, again, AI is currently scraping from every bit of crevice of the internet to create something. So therefore, it's only replicating what has been done before.
Yeah, it's creating
so I feel like,
it's creating from humans.
Yeah.
But
I've got a bunch of questions for you, Lucas. But keep going. No,
Please.
keep going. Keep
no,
going.
and it's just like, dude, it's like, I don't know. For me, art is like to take those huge strides forward is like Leonardo da Vinci. I mean, sheesh, our boy Edward Hopper. These things
Shouts
come
out to
from.
Edward Hopper.
Yeah.
Huge shout out to Edward Hopper,
Executive producer.
but
in the back right
executive
now.
producer.
He in the back.
But it's like, these things come from the struggle of man, not the like immediacy of, if that's even a word, of technology. And like, don't get me wrong, if you have to make like a pamphlet flyer for like a school project or like a business or some shit like that, sure, then like throw something in the oven and then see what the AI pops out. But like, if you're in a true endeavor to like create something, it has to come from like the God-given right that we have to express ourselves. And I think it just totally like rips the core out of what a painting or a designed garment or a podcast is. You know what I mean? And I think that it
That's
just
it.
has to
But-
come from somewhere real, given that's an interpretive, interpretation, whatever. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I think that's just like, that's where I stand on it. And again,
yeah,
like,
I'm looking at Trent's face. Trent's got a lot.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Trent and I are like we're just parsing through what you're saying,
Yeah.
and we have like a lot of like specific points that we wanted to talk
Well,
about.
Absolutely. Well,
I wish the
so-
listeners could see his face.
can't one say that the AI itself is art? Like that took
Sure.
a
Yeah.
lot of hard work to make. And I think it's also worth it to mention that it isn't as simple as just typing in some information, because a lot of times when you're building something from when you're deep faking something or building something from those kind of technologies, it does take a lot of work to get to a certain point, like a certain to get to the destination that you want. It takes
Yeah.
a lot at this point. Now we will get to the point where it's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, boom, there it is. But
Yeah.
at this moment, it does take a lot more work than I think that than people think it is. And I think it's
Yeah.
the same like when you look at like
People be saying that.
CGI in movies. Like a lot
Yeah.
of people think that, oh, okay, well you just it's that guy didn't jump from a building. It looks really cheap, but no, like a lot of that shit takes a lot of work.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
look at Photoshop and try to do a simple thing, like just try to open a new file. Like open
Yeah,
a
right.
open a
Yeah.
new file in Photoshop and then
Stumped.
just like take a picture and then like erase a pimple. Like have fun.
So,
have
to-
fun, because that's gonna take a
But
while.
I mean, but but like you
Uh-huh.
said, like a lot of and that also highlights another point I was gonna make. At what point do you consider the technology to take over and to take the soul out of something? Because
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
that's true.
when film camera was around and somebody brought a digital camera, it's like, yo, you're taking all the work out of it. You know,
Yes.
you're eliminating some of what makes photography. Like at what point? And it's I guess it's more, the question is more it's more open. I don't expect you to have answers, but at what point does an artist's hand stop and then the technology starts? At what point does it actually stop being soulless?
And also might I state that I do concede that I am very limited to my own like immediate perspective right now.
No,
And
but
I'm,
that's
I'm very
good.
like emotionally raw for like what day and age I live in, because I was actually thinking about this yesterday. It's like I was trying to reason, if I'll say myself, for example, if we grew up, or if I grew up in like one of the most important technological eras of our time, given like my childhood was like landline phones, later on into adolescence was dial-up internet. Pretty much senior year of high school really like was like Instagram, Facebook, all these landmark social media presences. And I guess I was just thinking, I'm like, well, am I biased because like somebody in the year 2100 could be like, man, it would suck ass to live back then. So I guess that just kind of ties into my like my bias that I hold because I'm alive in this day and age. But I don't know. I mean, I
I feel
guess
like you encapsulate the emotions of a lot of people during different eras. Like your emotions are valid because they
Mhm.
encapsulate like Trent said, encapsulates a contrarian perspective towards advancements in technology.
and I
And
mean
that's,
also
that's good though,
Yeah.
because
No,
like
absolutely,
those
absolutely.
skeptics help prevent a lot of the damage that
Mm-hmm.
goes from being too naive about technology and its capabilities and its use cases.
And Trent, so I guess your question was basically, at what point does it become a legitimate piece of AI art?
Oh, at what point does it? I guess, yeah. That's one thing you can say. At what point does or you can just say, what point does the art become legitimate and it does still?
Yeah,
I mean-
retain
I
its
have a
soul.
little tidbit that's contrary, but I want to let you go first.
I mean, and you did highlight something that again went over my limited perspective head, which is that there is such an intricate, devoted art form to creating these devices that we're so fortunate to use, and that I totally respect, because I'm a mere clothing designer. I really have very, very limited technological inclinations, but so the art form to get us to where we're at, yes, I think that's like that's incredible and that's remarkable, and you're at the forefront of arguably some of the smartest people on the planet. I guess I'm a little bit more I'm a little bit more critical of like what is produced than how it's produced.
Yeah.
But
that's
at
a
what
good distinction.
at
That
what
is, that's very good.
at what point does it become art? I mean, I truly think it's anybody's call, because somebody will proudly hang up a piece of digital art way before they hang up this Pharaoh Kakuji original.
Yeah.
But
shout out to Pharaoh.
shout out to Pharaoh.
He's gonna come up.
He's gonna
eventually.
be a guest, 1,000%.
The
But
the T is T.
I think that it's ultimately not my call to make, but
Call back.
I'm gonna say until there's a sentient being that,
That's
you know, the
behind
Adam
art.
and Eve, if you will, of the AI, until they create a piece, then I'm calling it a byproduct of human technology.
I have you said you were limited in technology, but I see that sewing machine over there, and this brings up a good question.
Yeah.
So, humans have been creating art with technology since the dawn of time. Like, we've evolved from hand painting a while ago.
What
in the
was
sense-
used for hand painting?
Just like they crushed up like flowers and dyes and
berries.
yeah, berries and stuff, and
wow.
then created
Okay.
dyes, and then those dyes like hold on like caves, because like caves are pretty good at maintaining the same atmosphere and tension.
Mhm.
But yeah, they used to create like blow, like tools where they used to blow into it, and then it'll be like like spray painting, like but
Oh,
with your
wow.
mouth, so it'll be like. But is that any less art because they didn't use their hands?
Is that-
See,
that
so
would-
see, and then same thing extends to now. You
Oh,
use a sewing
sheesh.
machine, and so technology has been present in the
Yeah,
creation of
that's the
art
point I was-
forever,
Mm.
and so like the human aspect is still there. And let's say in a theoretical that all humans die, but AI carries on.
Hmm.
That's an expression of our art
Yeah.
that
Yeah, yeah.
extends past our essence as a thing, and maybe it may be distorted and lost, but so is all the other information. Like I don't go blow dart stuff, I just go for grab a graffiti can, but
Facts.
the origins of that
Mm-hmm.
are like what's real. So it's very hard. That's why these conversations are very enlightening, because it's good to get the raw emotion. Like I said, you were
Mhm.
criticizing yourself. You're like, but that type of like attitude is like good in informing like someone of a
Those who
perspe-
are moving at breakneck speed.
yeah, because like you said, the ones that are moving at breakneck speed may not be making the best decisions at breakneck speed. Like you could still crash at breakneck speed and it hurts more than when you're
Mhm.
slow and deliberate. But also, it's not good to be too slow and deliberate.
Yeah.
So you just have to make
Mm.
sure everyone in the car is on the same speed.
I was
same
gonna say,
timing.
yeah, you definitely need somebody to say, "Hey, is that a red light or a yellow light?"
Yeah, like you definitely
Yeah.
see like a stop sign is a great example. Like a stoplight, you have people that are on green, that are on go all the time. Then you have
Mhm.
people on red, and then you have people on yellow. And I feel like yellow, even though we don't respect it, yellow is the most important one.
Truly.
Because
yes.
it tells you to slow down.
Definitely the most
And
disrespected one.
Yeah, mostly because I definitely do be seeing people run through yellow all the time or speed up in yellow.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but the yellow,
Especially in New York. Whew.
woo, yeah, but yellow's probably like the people, like in terms of this analogy, like the people that are probably the ones that are the most observant and have something good to say, and it serves as like a good medium between all of. It's basically like the balance between the two
Mm.
of being all go or all stop.
So, as we move only forward as time has only allowed us to do,
Yeah,
is there any getting off this ride, or is it permanently here?
I do not think so, but that's more so a societal thing.
Yeah.
We live in a society.
Yeah, there's more. I could delve into it, but I want to see what do you think, Trent?
I don't know. I just imagine like a gigantic EMP blowing everything off the board and everybody having to
Maybe.
start from scratch.
You ever seen Dune?
That seems like the only way.
Seen what?
Dune, the movie
Doom.
with Timothy.
Oh yeah.
Oh
That's
man!
crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
we
I
should do an episode on that, and it should be
Really?
a continuation of this, because one of the story premises is like the like society is like advanced, but they got rid of computer technology because I forgot the name of the author, but he writes a line and he's like, the humans surrendered their all of their thought to the computer until it became detrimental, and so they learned from their lesson and revoked the use of computers or something, and then they continued their society anyways, and then became spacefaring without computers per se, and it was just like, it was like, ooh, that's a good take on like, because this is like a world post computer, so we live in a highly digital age, but there is a possibility of us just losing computer technology.
Under what circumstances? Because
We destroy ourselves.
Yeah, I mean that seems like the only like realistic
But
event that would lead us to eradicating.
or we do something so heinous that like we just stop using it. Like the nuclear bombs were dropped twice and they stopped. They threatened to use them, but like they stopped. They like they did
Might
something.
I just say, I
Yeah.
like the way you phrase that. We destroy ourselves, not the computers destroy us.
Yeah, no,
Mm. It's true.
I've because you can't. The computer, the AI is like an external thing. Like you can't.
It's simply a tool.
It's a tool. Like the tool can't destroy. Like the knife didn't murder the guy, the person. Like there's a philosopher and he talks about. I really have to get better at citing my sources for this podcast, but he talks about how an object changes the identity of the person. So a person
wow.
is like a man, but then if he's grabs a gun, he inherits a new identity and becomes the gunman.
Is he? He's older or like a more relevant? Because
I
that
think-
that pertains to now. It seems with like technology and whatnot.
Yeah, like we are like I am phone man. I am microphone man.
You are iPhone.
I am iPhone man. Actually, I have an Android. Sorry, guys. I'm the green. I'm the green text bubble. I'm sorry. I'm the green text bubble in the group chat.
Same.
But the technology changes the person because that's the only real difference.
It does, yeah.
The only real difference between us and people from the past are the technologies we have if we think about it. Because maybe we are the only reason why we're capable of like these types of conversations is because of the like things that technology afforded us. Like the caveman, I'm sure if he had like the thing from an internet, like his brain is not any smaller per se if we don't go too far back. So like, and he like grew up on it. What would be the difference?
Yeah, I don't know.
If you don't go too far back, like I'm not like if he's like in Neanderthal and his head shape is like crazy, like like if his brain is like set like yes, you still have to have like a certain qualification to be a Homo sapien, but like if you go back to the earliest Homo sapiens and then we give them some of the technology we have now, I feel like you would be surprised about what they'll be able to learn, because knowing a whole archive of every berry that's poisonous and non-poisonous is crazy. Like if you leave me in the forest, I would like die because like it'll be clipped. Like I'll just eat one berry and it's clipped for me. But they knew that off the top of their head. So that's a different type of intelligence that, like we said before, is like vestigial. It's like my appendix. I don't appreciate my appendix, but
that's some of the work we lose.
yeah, that's some of the work we lose. Like I lose some of that thing, but I could tell you about well, Lucas could tell you about every like James Dean movie that he's in.
Sure.
And
what
that's
do you
that's
wanna know?
yeah, like that's
But how's that gonna help me survive in the forest?
well,
I don't know if that'll. I don't know if Rebel
Well,
Without
I
a
don't
Cause
know.
will enlighten.
I don't
me
know.
to-
Maybe there's some lessons you learn there that make you quick on your feet.
yeah,
Sure.
see,
I think that
I would
might be
have to agree.
arguable. You know, let's not count James Dean.
yeah,
out.
don't count James.
Yeah.
Never count James Dean out.
Never.
Never. Shout out to James Dean one more time.
Yeah, shout out.
One more time.
Yeah,
One
we got.
more time. Let's
gotta
hear.
put-
Let's
yeah,
hear it
let's
for
hear it.
James
Yeah.
Dean.
Yeah. Shout out Wilhelm too.
There he goes.
Oh my god!
There
When
he
we call out,
goes.
we have to create a drop for that drop that like announces Wilhelm coming.
Coming next to the stage.
Like let's invite Wilhelm. Yeah, like we, like yeah,
Our first guest.
yeah, first guy.
Our first guest.
They're with us since the beginning.
Since the beginning.
Is he AI?
We'll leave that to the listeners. We'll leave that to the listeners.
Is he AI? Huh.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, again, I think again, perhaps I'm biased, but I do think we live in an incredibly remarkable time
Yes, we
for the progression of the tools that are at our immediate disposal. And I mean, again, as the knife is an inanimate object until it, hurts somebody. I kind of think that, yeah, I mean, it can be metaphorical towards like the technology is just technology, and whichever ways the powers that be decide to utilize it, I think that, yeah, we're just kind of subjected to.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. Like, it's some of the things that you could do, like the capabilities are like endless. Like when you create a universal machine, like I don't know, someone could like create a cyber attack and create like, because we live in a society, we like actually care about it. So we don't want it to end. Hence why like before we don't want to like drop nuclear bombs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's someone is very highly capable with like very little to like disrupt an entire power grid and like essentially like harm a huge mass of people with just a couple clicks on your computer without a trace. And that is just like crazy. But I don't know. I'm existing right now. Nobody's done that. So there's something there to that, which I feel like is understated. That like we could, that's a lot of the absurdism of to call back from last episode. That's a lot of the absurdism of our current time. That like we have a lot of access points to destroy ourselves or like create avenues of which things can go wrong very, very easily, and yet we still don't.
Also, to add on to that, there are also intelligence organizations out there who are in charge of tracking these motherfuckers down and keeping them from doing it.
That is true.
Shout out to those intelligence organizations.
Shout out to the NSA. Woo! Read my text messages. They're pretty funny.
Have y'all seen the building at, I believe it's, crap, I forget what street it's on. I know it's 33 something, but it's the building downtown, almost like directly north of the World Trade Center, the skyscraper with no windows that many believe is an NSA.
Which one? The one that looks like a finger? Like a fingernail?
Nah, it's literally just like a brick building. It's like,
Brick.
damn it, I forget the name. Anyways,
Is it on Park Place?
That sounds depressing. A building with no windows.
dude, we can see it on the roof when we go up there. But
Oh yeah. Sorry,
anyways, yeah,
listeners, you can't
it's
come
one
with
of
us.
the only.
I said sorry, listeners. You can't come with us to the roof.
Sorry, y'all.
You'll be there in spirit.
We'll post
Yeah.
pics.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, it's like a completely like nuclear proof building. Really, you've never heard of those?
No, I have
Oh
not.
wow, I'll point it out whenever we're up there. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I would say my general statement is I'm a tad bit apprehensive of it all. I'm a bit of a naturalist, I guess you could say. But with young, infectious, positive energy, such as Christian, beginning his endeavors in the field, I think that ultimately, we can we'll be in good hands in the future.
I am very terrified of my field. I'm sorry, I'm saying this now. I am very terrified of my field.
Why?
I will stand on that because like there's so many incentives to not do the best, to not take the best course of action
because of your own personal
because
interests.
because just the way that it's easy for corruption to filtrate into like a technology like this. Because the corruption is just a lack of just lack. Like we could talk about this, like the nature of evil in general, but like the nature of evil for me is just a lack of something. So like a lack of good is evil.
Yeah.
And so like a lack of, let's say, a lack of ability to say no in certain situations could lead to implicit evils.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a lot of that in the field because there's some people that like, I believe there was some, because there's definitely people that are very intelligent, very observant, that see things but don't say it for fear of losing their job
Mm.
or for fear of doing certain things. So let's say you're working on a very technology, someone that's gonna look with any art, some of
Mm.
that your good traits and your bad traits are gonna make it into the piece.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm very terrified of my field, because we're working not only with ourselves but with such a large scale of humans. Like I feel like most of the world has a phone at this point,
Yeah.
and we've seen some of the effects, whether it be like self-esteem issues
Mm-hmm.
from Facebook and like body dysmorphia rising
Mm-hmm.
to
Misinformation.
misinformation and misinformation campaigns.
Yeah, campaigns.
Like somebody could host a campaign of just spreading misinformation to get you to believe in their side so they could get their agenda done.
Mm-hmm.
That is that's a lot of power, and that's very scary to kind of handle. And it's kind of like we're dealing with tycoons in a sense of just large sums of capital and large sums of wealth that could kind of fluctuate real world things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm scared of my field, but I love my field. A lot of personal sacrifice to get into this field. So especially with my identity as a person. So
Yeah.
Nice. I was gonna say to counter that, and for any of the listeners who may have crawled under the blankets and start to get into a fetal position, it's also worth it to say that this isn't the beginning of misinformation. Even before there were so many outlets,
oh yeah, this is not
there
the
was definitely a lot of misinformation, a lot of wrong being done.
mm-hmm.
And once again, with the growing of technology, it's only made it ubiquitous. So with that ubiquity,
Shout out. Yeah, you said it right though.
ubiquity. Okay.
Ubiquitous is more fitting for that.
Yeah, shout out to ubiquitous. But with that, the growing of outlets and the ability to get more information out, period, has also allowed the opportunity to get right information out
Yeah.
there.
Mm.
For real.
True.
Just more effort, but
Yeah,
take that effort as a
take
general
that. Shout out to Diddy.
Yeah.
That.
I love that we love music.
So we're gonna bring it to a close, and if anything, leave us with a final thought, Christian.
Final remarks.
Yeah, what do you want people to take away from this conversation?
Don't be scared of artificial intelligence. It is just a tool. We could use it for good. We could use it for bad. We could use it for neutral options. Generally speaking, technology will inform who we are as people. Take good insight into that. That's my closing remarks.
Love it.
Got it. All right. So once again, this is. I'm not supposed to be here. Sam.
I'm not supposed to be here. Please, I'm not supposed to be here. Like I want to find a quote or somebody's like,
I
I'm
know
not supposed to be here.
Oh my god.
There has to be an
There
epic.
has to be
Yeah.
like some
We need to
epic.
just combine all the quotes that say that.
Yeah, that's like every
Damn, that'd be a really sick intro. Like if we had like a little like beat or something, and then like
your
Ideas.
put that in there.
People, the show
are
is
you?
forming before your ears. We're thinking of ideas.
What
Any listeners who hear that soundbite, send it our way.
Yes,
Yeah.
please do.
what are your closing remarks? What are your feelings? I'd rather your feelings than your closing remarks. Because we could revisit this topic.
We absolutely
We-
can.
we
We,
will.
probably will.
Yeah,
My thoughts would probably be the same. It's all a tool, and it's all in how you use it. My feelings, I think I've relaxed, and we had this conversation earlier. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I think when it really started, the fear of technology started to hit me was when I was in college, and I was thinking I'm going to get out and I'm going to become a photographer, and I was seeing all the things done with technology, and with just the click of a button, you can do everything that a photographer can do. You can erase this, you can do that, And then I've relaxed because to Lucas's point, a lot of that stuff is so far off, and there is something about art having a human touch. and I want to call it nuance, but a lot of times it's not even nuance. Like a lot of times it's it's blatant. It's in your face to tell. Yeah, it right now I don't think that the technology can replicate what I can do. Not to toot my own horn, or what anybody in this room can do.
Yeah.
So I've learned to relax a bit, and if it happens, it happens. That's not going to, if it happens, if when technology takes over, whatever, it's not gonna. I say this, but then I'm thinking, oh shit, well, it's not going to delete me and my art and the things I can create. And maybe I'm being a little optimistic, but I hope that it will only open the doors to what I have access to and grant me more abilities and different avenues to express myself in an artistic manner. I'm saying, so that's my feelings now. I'm kind of hopeful, but there's a little bit of depression back there too. A little bit, just a dollop, not a lot.
Yeah.
All right, Lucas.
Let's see, what closing feelings?
Closing feelings.
With this one, I would say I almost intentionally play the other side of the fence. But I ultimately, I'm kind of here for the show. In term, and not this show, but I'm here for the ride. Being the whole. I'm only like a passenger on this moving train of like technology, and I'm kind of just psyched to be here and experience it. As far as I'm concerned, my day-to-day life doesn't change all too much with like the overarching presence of this, incredibly fast-paced technology. So I'm happy observing it, partaking as I willingly decide. I do have a legitimate, I guess, like concern for where it's taking us, but I'll be gone by then.
You never know. You may have an alter carbon situation where they just won't let you go. They'll just stick you on somebody else's neck.
That'd be crazy.
You think you're dead and you
like
wake
the
up. And
Futurama
it's like, welcome
heads?
back, Lucas.
Yeah,
Just stay here.
Like
That'd
welcome
be
back.
crazy.
LMG, another episode I'm not supposed to be here has to come out now.
The world needs you, Lucas.
But yeah, I'll be gone. My clothing will still be here. The articles that I've created, my art form, will hopefully remain.
That's fine.
But yeah, again, I'm here kind of passively. As I grow older as well, I think I'm a little bit more like settled in my ways. And not by any means, I certainly want to deem myself like a closed-minded individual.
Oh no, you're definitely open-minded.
No, you're open-minded, but you're spitting some facts. You're spitting a human perspective, and that's what we can ask for.
I would hope. But yeah, I'm kind of more of just like a spectator of if anything. I leave like the technicalities and the professionalism to aspiring young individuals like Mr. Christian, who will hopefully lead us in the right direction with good intention and good heart. And others, hopefully like him in the field. But man, I'm here for the ride. I'm ready to see where it goes and where it takes us, and hopefully it's just ultimately for the better of mankind.
Oh, just as a general distinction, I said I'm afraid of my field. I am very optimistic of my field. Nobody got it twisted.
And
like I love technology. Don't get me wrong.
What's the other side of fear? Bravery.
I think I feel like we just
require
have to,
you to be brave.
Yeah, we just have to be courageous and in our feelings, be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And I do love technology, and I do have a general sense of optimism that everything will kind of work out, because we haven't. I think so.
Do you know
we haven't destroyed ourselves yet, and we had ample so many opportunities. Like
We haven't physically destroyed ourselves yet.
physically.
Do you have y'all seen Napoleon Dynamite?
No, I have
It's
not.
been a
Really?
minute. It's been a minute.
I
You know
have
when
not seen
Kip,
it.
he has that, maybe that could be our outro song, but he's like, yes, I love technology. I actually sound just like him too. Yes, I love technology. Hopefully somebody knows what I'm talking about. I'll
No,
send it to y'all. But
You have to
you
figure
know,
out the outro.
as I've played the grumpy old man, I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic.
Facts. Okay.
Alright.
So thank yous. I wanna thank you guys first and foremost.
Yeah, if you made it this far, oh my gosh.
This episode will probably be a two-parter. We went on. We were long winded.
How long
I
was
can, see, I
that?
can see this being like
Uh,
several parts, like 4 parts.
Yeah, this was over. We're approaching. We're like, I think like about 14 minutes from the 2 hour mark. But,
Whoa!
but yeah,
Wow.
back to the thank yous. I want to thank my aunt, who's no longer with us. God rest her soul, for taking me to see The Matrix
Whoa.
in theaters.
Whoa.
Like, yeah, I remember.
Whoa, we
being a
should do The
kid.
Matrix. I watched all 4.
Dude,
Yeah, I've seen them
that
all
would
too.
be a great. You know,
We could do
I
that
don't
next.
think I've ever watched The Matrix in full.
No?
Crazy crime against humanity.
We
but
have to. Oh,
I've
Yeah.
never.
Matrix
I don't think I
episode.
ever have. I heard they got kind of like progressively like not as.
I mean, the first
wonderful.
is obviously the best, and
Couldn't
then
it be a standalone as well?
the
like
first
they
one.
didn't
No, I don't
need
think so.
The
3
other ones?
follow-ups.
Oh, you mean the most recent one?
Well, I mean, like the first one, 1999. Couldn't that be a standalone film?
Yes,
Okay.
it did. It
They
absolutely
didn't
did not
need-
need the sequels.
Okay.
I feel like I don't know. I disagree. I feel like the sequels add a little bit of contrarianism that's much
Okay.
necessary because the first
Mm.
one's a little too optimistic.
This is a conversation.
Yeah.
For
Uh,
another
but,
EP.
But yeah, back to the thank yous. Thank you to all of the creators out there who explored the idea of artificial intelligence and what that means.
Yes.
So many people on that, the Wachowskis, Philip K. Dick, a bunch, those are the first 2 that come to mind. But anyway, if you've ever explored artificial intelligence throughout your art, thank you.
Yeah. Also, shout out to the people that work in the industry with artificial intelligence. Shout out to the ethicists, the philosophers that consult with people. Shout out to people that speak up and are courageous, and when they see something wrong, they say something,
Yes.
like the MTA says.
Yes.
See something, say something.
Yeah.
Shout out to Toenails, too.
Oh my gosh! No,
Gouging
you
Christian's
gotta the toenail eyes.
Thank
Ah!
you for providing us with stories.
Yeah.
Lucas, any thank yous?
Thank you.
Thank you to those who are leading our future in good faith.
Yes, good faith.
All right. And thank you for listening, our beautiful, invisible audience. Shout out to Johnny Polygon. All right, y'all. Peace.